Okay, welcome. It's Tuesday. It is lesson 2 for English for this week. We're all back together again today. No year 1 and year 2 separate activities. We're all doing the same thing. And this is going to be quite a short input because I want to get you writing. So today we're just writing sentences. The best sentences that you can. And then you might be able to use some of these in your Rosie Revere story next week. Okay, so in a minute I'm going to show you some pictures from Rosie Revere Engineer, and for each of those pictures you're going to write a sentence. Now we want that to be the best sentence possible, so year ones, think about what we talked about yesterday in terms of what do I need to include when I write a sentence. Is my sentence the best I can be? So we're going to think about using the correct punctuation, so that's full stops, capital letters, not just for the start of sentences but for names as well. If you're feeling a bit brave, why not put a comma or an exclamation mark in there as well, or even a question mark. So you're going to see if you can join your sentences. So we're going to make compound sentences today. That's where we join two sentences together, and we've got some examples of some conjunctions. We've got and, we've got but, and we've got or. Now, if you haven't already, you're going to need your tricky word sheet and your phonics sheet, because that's what I'm looking for as well today. I'm looking for the correct spellings of tricky words and the correct phonics as well, or as best as you can. And then finally, do we have the opportunity to put an adjective in? Okay, now not every sentence has to have an adjective. It's thinking about the right adjective for your sentence. Okay. So, you might as well get your English books out, because the pictures that you're going to need are stuck into your book already, or are loose in your book, ready for you to stick it in. Okay, first of all, we had a couple of pictures. They're quite big on the screen, which is quite difficult to see. What's going on in this picture? That's what I want to see. So here we've got Rosie Revere. Where is she? She's in the classroom, and it was Ida Greer's classroom. Okay, so we need to think of a sentence for that. So I'm going to write it today rather than type it. So Rosie, so this is my sentence. You cannot use the same sentence. I've got Rosie, capital R, because it's the start of a sentence. There's Rosie Revere. There's my two capital letters because it's a name. What is she doing? Okay, she sat. She is sitting. She sat. Now, year twos, you could put an adverb in here. We could have quietly. I'm going to use a different colour for that. Sat. I at Lee. There's our L-Y starter from yesterday, year twos. So where did she sit? She sat quietly in Ida Greer's classroom. Now, Ida Greer needs a capital letter, and so does Greer. I think this was how you spell Greer from the book. Ida Greer's classroom. So we've got K-L S-R joined if you can. Okay, that would make a perfectly good sentence. Rosie Revere sat quietly in the classroom. But remember what I said? We wanted to make a compound sentence. We wanted to join two sentences together. Now, I could use and here, but I'm actually going to have a go at using but to start with. But she... What did she not... Because remember with but, this is when you do something that's not happening. So, but she did not... Oi in the middle of the word is oi. as in OI, join in, full stop. Okay, so I've got my conjunction, and actually, really, it would be better if I put my conjunction in a different colour. Rosie Revere sat quietly in Ida Greer's classroom, but she did not join in. So I've got my capital letters, Rosie Revere, Ida Greer. I've got my full stop. I've got my conjunction. I've got my tricky words, she. Okay, so that's a really good first sentence to have a go at. Right, now we'll have a look at the second picture. Okay, where is she? She's in her attic. What's she doing? She's building her gadgets and gizmos. Okay, so this is a really good sentence. We can put some adjectives in this one. So we're going to start with a capital letter again. Rosie Revere now worked in her, tricky word for her, so look at your sheet, which in her, it is ER, in her attic. Attic has two T's in it. And attic is one of the few words, because it's got an I there, where we have a curlicu at the end. Not many words where there's a curlicu at the end of a word, but that's one of them. Rosie Revere worked in the attic, and so here's my conjunction. Right, made I want next. Made as in I'm making something is a split digraph A sound. If it was AI, it would be a maid as in who works in your house. We don't want that maid. And made. Now here's where I want my adjective. So I'm going to use blue for adjective. And made amazing gadgets and here's not a conjunction, but I am going to use another adjective. Amazing gadgets and wonderful gizmos. Okay, I'm going to let you do the rest. So here's 3 more pictures. Have a go at all 5 in your book, making sure that you've remembered everything. So you've got your punctuation, you've got your adjectives, you've got your conjunctions, you've got your tricky words and your phonics spelled correctly. Now obviously some people you might need to think about finger spaces depending on what your target was from your holiday recount. You might need to think about your letter formation as well. All of those things, that's a lot to remember in one lesson, but I know you guys are amazing and that you can do it. So have fun with the writing, and I'll see you back tomorrow for Raw Rosie Fun.